Not all sewing patterns are created equal, and choosing the right one makes all the difference. Before we dive deeper into reading a pattern envelope, let's zoom out and try to understand sewing patterns as a whole. In this video, let's talk about sewing pattern companies like Vogue, Simplicity, McCall's, Butterick, and how their styles, designs, and instructions can vary. Also, how patterns are labeled: beginner, easy, intermediate, advanced, and what those levels really mean, so you can choose projects that match your skills so that you can grow without frustration. We'll take a first look at the pattern envelope and help you decide if this is going to be a good pattern for you. So once you learn how patterns are labeled and organized, choosing one becomes a confident decision instead of a guess. To start with, I have some pattern envelopes I want to show you. I pulled out all the Simplicity. Let us see. Easy to sew, 1 hour. Not 1 hour. Not even me. I take an hour to cut things out because I make sure it's done right. So just so you know. Easy to sew. Easy to sew if you sew well. And yeah, this one's got binding on it. It's got a zipper through here. I don't think it was easy to sew. This one was easy to sew. There's no zipper in it, some quick little pleats and all, but I find some of my students too don't really know what a pleat is, and it's kind of just a tuck. It's actually very simple. Simplicity. This one says nothing on it, and I would gather that this one is probably kind of easy. And how do you know if it's easy, right? Like this one doesn't say anything. I always look in the back on the illustrations, and I'm like, okay, is there a zipper in it? What kind of it is? I look on the notion side, which I'll go over all that with you, and I look, is there a lot of notions in it? I can kind of tell what's going to be involved in here. New sewers do not, so you don't know what you're looking at. I like to look at garments that are not cut on the bias. I have a whole video on that about what bias is and the grain lines on fabrics. That's really important in cutting. I'll be sharing a video about that for you. Basically, Simplicities are a good place to start, and we'll go over that. Also, New Look is owned by Simplicity, but I think that's the whole umbrella thing. And I find theirs is pretty easy. I can just look at their sketches and know that they're a little simpler. So I like the New Look pattern. McCall's look like these. What I did like about McCall's is they had I think they still have it, it's called Learn to Sew. And doesn't mean that they're easier. This means that they actually write the instructions a little clearer for somebody who's learning to sew. So McCall's is good for that. They're a good simple one. Then we have Buttericks. Buttericks are my favorites. They're a little more difficult, a little more detail oriented. But some pretty simple. This says fast and easy. It looks like I can look at this one and know that there's no zipper in it. Also, beware of patterns that are just sketches, because really what you want to look at is the person in it. You can kind of see how it hangs, because the sketch always romanticizes the design. And I mean, this is cute, but it always, I don't know, it always looks a little more hourglass shape, and but you can see the details better on the sketch. So I kind of will go between the two. But when you just see the sketches, I want to see a person in it, even though it's a skinny person, but hey. And here's another one. This one's a girl on it and the sketches. This is a Butterick. This one says So Easy. So patterns also have a lot of varieties in one pattern, which makes the instructions appear to be more complicated, because there's like, if you're sewing A, start here, and then if not, go to C and start here, and then this one is only for A and this one's for C, so it gets a little crazy. And then you have to really decide which one, kind of there. My students are always working on, I always had to, and I have a lot of students at the same time. I'm like, which one you working on? And I can't remember, so I circle, and you should do that too. Like say, I'm doing C, because then you go back to it. Because sometimes for you, on your own project, you might go back like, a couple weeks later and you're like, which one was I doing? But just circling it, making sure, if there's any changes on it. I also write like, okay, made this in, 2020, and I used the size here, and if I did any alterations on it, I did that. I'll put like little notes on there. Remember, I made the black linen pants out of this pattern and stuff, because a lot of times you'll go back and go, what did I do with that one? Like that. But Butterick is good. Then we have Vogue. This one's a very easy Vogue. This is an older pattern. That is actually very easy. Although, yeah, this is pretty easy. I can always look back here. It's actually a very easy one. Then Vogue has a really beautiful line of designers. And like this is, wow. This one is probably a pretty complicated pattern. It looks complicated, and a lot of these bigger envelope ones with the designer names on it are usually more complicated. So do not start there. Work on just the simple patterns. Get used to how all this goes, then tackle this. I was making these patterns probably in my late teens. I'd been sewing 4, 5, 6 years, and then when I was in design school making a lot of these, and I love them. They have great designs. I loved all the designer clothes. So the front of the envelope, definitely look at sketches. These are called the flats back here. Definitely look at the illustration. So on the front of envelopes, you're going to notice a lot of different sizes. This one's 16 to 24. This one's 18 to 22. This one's 14 to 22. Extra small, small, medium, large, extra large. Okay, so what does that mean? There's also some patterns that have, like let's say it's for a man, they might have boy sizes and then the men's sizes. They'll have the same pattern in there. If you paid regular price for these, they're probably in the $20 range. That's a lot to give you for $20. People think their patterns are expensive, but if you knew how long a pattern took to get into this envelope, not folding it up, but creating the pattern, the testing it goes through, all of that. And these, what I like about the big fours are they are tested and tested and tested, and they always go together right. I've found 1 or 2 mistakes in my whole sewing career on a pattern. But when I get the PDF patterns from around the world, people making them, their instructions are always a little differently. I would actually create patterns, but I do not like writing pattern instructions, and it's a lot of work. There is so much work into pattern making. So to me, the price is great. All right, let's start with the simplicity. Go over the front. We got this girl on the front. You can see it's got a contrast in here. Kind of look at that and go, oh, okay, I got that. And then it shows it on contrast here. You don't have to do the contrast, but on the back pattern, it'll probably break it down into contrast. So actually this is D right here. They have D top, and then they have front lace overlay, which means if it says D top, you need 2 yards, but it's not 2 yards of whatever fabric. You also have to look at that. Front lace overlay is 5/8 of a yard, so you got to make sure you're having the 2. And then there's even a lot of patterns, even if it's just contrast, it's the same fabric but different colors, they will break them down. Like this AB top is your fabric you would buy, and then the contrast sleeves, 1/2 yard. So you really have to look in here and maybe bring a highlighter with you and highlight it and go over it. I used to like to buy a pattern first, kind of study it a little bit, and then start the fabric shopping and all that. But you can pull this out too. I'm always in the fabric stores pulling these out, and I look through them. You can do that. Just make sure you put it back, right? Do not unfold all of these, because then you can't get it back. Now, number one thing with patterns I find is people do not get the right size. I have a whole video out about this. The retailers have their own sizing system, and ironically, they keep getting smaller. Like I wear a size 12. If I go shopping outside, I'll go anywhere from a 10 to a 14. Just basically a 12. But if I buy a pattern, I buy an 18 pattern. Way different sizing. I even looked into some books in the 1950s with the pattern sizing, and they're the same. The pattern companies have not changed their sizing, but the retailers have. It's called vanity sizing. Makes us feel better when we go shopping, right? And it's just a number. So I remember my friend, I taught her how to sew, and we went over the pattern sizing. She wears like a 4 or 6 in the store, and we measured her, and we determined she needs a size 14 pattern. We ended up going to the fabric store later on, like next day, and we're looking through patterns, and it was like a dollar sale, and she's getting all these, and she gets all these like 6s and 8s, and I went, "You're a size 14 pattern." She's like, "No, I'm not." And I go, I just went over all this with you. So it's a number. So do not get the wrong pattern size. I have a whole video on this. It's on your sheet is how our pattern size is different from retail sizes. Sew bit number 20. So there's that video. And then I have a video that is actually not on this sheet, but it's how to measure yourself. So I have the sheet in here, and this is what the video looks like, how to measure yourself. So you also have to measure yourself correctly so that you get the right pattern size. And a lot of times if you're not right on the number, it's like, what are you close to? Now, if you're gonna make a skirt, you just wanna worry about your hips first, your like widest part, and then the waist is always a little off. So I will always measure the waist itself on the pattern and then adjust the waist out. I'm square, so I always have to go out, but always go with the widest part. Like if your stomach is wider than your hips, and you go with that, and then you have to alter down some of the patterns or alter up. If you're making a jacket, then you want to measure your bust, get the patterns to fit with that, and then adjust out after that. A dress, you want to do bust and hip. So there's a lot of, you don't need the bust if you're going to do a skirt, right? So just have to measure the widest part. Take a look at how to measure yourself video, and also how pattern sizes are different from retail sizes. That's going to help you decipher the pattern size. Once you understand how patterns are labeled and organized, choosing one becomes a confident decision instead of a guess. Now that you have the bigger picture, let's start breaking down this pattern envelope piece by piece so you know exactly how to use the information it gives you. I'm Chanel from Future Fashion Designer Sewing School. Let's keep building these skills.